Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has praised Western backing in the face of Russia's military buildup and announced an expansion of the army. He told MPs support for Ukraine was the biggest since 2014 and said a new format of political cooperation was being created with the UK and Poland. MPs also held various flags of countries that are supporting their efforts. It comes as Boris Johnson and other EU leaders have travelled to Ukraine. Russia has repeatedly denied planning to attack the country, but has deployed an estimated 100,000 troops, as well as tanks, artillery and missiles within reach of its borders.
Today, 1 year after the attempted coup was launched,
a UN rights expert says Myanmar military rulers are committing crimes against humanity.
It's about human rights, justice and decency.
Tom Andrews also said the junta are operating like a criminal enterprise. New data suggests Myanmar is seeing increasingly deadly battles between its military and organised groups of armed civilians. Many of those fighting the military are young people who have put their lives on hold since the junta seized power a year ago. About 2.4 million of the 12 million school-aged children in Mozambique are not in education. That's according to the country's president, Felipe Nyusi. He also said his government was hiring more teachers to improve the student-teacher ratio in an effort to make quality education available for all. Mozambique has had numerous attacks by militants and natural calamities like cyclones that have damaged property. Some 778 schools have been damaged by Tropical Storm Anna.
The crime of humanity being perpetrated in order to maintain the system of apartheid.
Amnesty International has said Israeli laws, policies and practices against Palestinians in Israel and the occupied territories amount to apartheid. A new report alleges that the Israeli state maintains an institutionalized regime of oppression and domination of the Palestinian population for the benefit of Jewish Israelis. Israel says it absolutely rejects all of the false allegations in the report. Denmark has lifted all of its domestic COVID-19 restrictions, including wearing of face masks, making it the first European Union country to do so. Nightclubs have reopened, late-night alcohol sales have resumed, and the contact tracing app is no longer needed to enter venues. From Tuesday, masks are no longer required in shops, restaurants or public transport. Limits on the number of people allowed at indoor gatherings and social distancing measures have also come to an end. Experts say it's due to the country's high vaccination rate. Landslides and flooding from heavy rains in Quito, the capital of Ecuador, have killed at least 11 people and injured at least 15. Cars, mud and tree trunks were swept away by a flood to the west of Quito after a day of intense rains that set a record for precipitation in the country. Quito's mayor said that over 75 litres of rainfall per square metre were recorded, the highest level since 2003. About 6,500 people have been told to evacuate their homes in North Carolina due to a fire at a fertilizer plant storing over 300 tons of potentially explosive ammonium nitrate. The blaze took place at the Weaver fertilizer plant on North Cherry Street. Residents within 1 mile of the plant were urged to evacuate and stay away from their homes for up to 48 hours. The firefighting operation also had to be abandoned due to the large amount of ammonium nitrate on site. The bus, which was on a bridge in Pittsburgh when it collapsed, has been lifted out of a wooded gully by a crane. Built in 1970, the snow-covered Fern Hollow Bridge had given way on Friday. 10 people sustained minor injuries, according to authorities. It happened hours before US President Joe Biden was due in the city on a visit to tout his infrastructure plan and other initiatives. And finally, Hindu devotees have converged in northern India for holy dips by riverbanks on the occasion of Mauni Amavasya. Over 4 million devotees were estimated to have participated in the town of Prayagraj. Mauni Amavasya is considered an auspicious day and observed every year around January or February when no moon is visible in the sky.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.